Hey YouTube, I'm back again with another video. So I left off with me going into the hospital with my induction. So on induction day, I got induced on the 28th of June because I worked there and the doctors loved me. They scheduled my induction. I was in that place. I got in 2 minutes. They took me right in. They started me on Pitocin. They started my IVs. So just like a little tidbit. So I have four godparents. I'm the most. I have four godparents for the babies. Um, Two of the godparents are doctors, and they were one of the ones that actually they both were there, and they both helped with my birth. And my main doctor, who I'm really good friends with, I work for her. She's the one who helped me deliver. So me, my mom, and Cece were all there or whatever, and they checked my cervix. I got to about 3 to 4, either 3 to 4 or 3 to 5. I can't remember. And that was at 6 o'clock in the morning. So about 9 or 10 in the morning, they decided they want to break my water. So they broke my water, and I was having contractions every 2, 3 minutes, back to back. They were coming. I didn't feel not one, zero. I felt nothing. Oddly enough, I didn't feel my contractions. They were just like, wow, you don't feel? I was like, I don't feel anything. So they checked me again. I moved maybe a little bit. So I went to from like a 4 to 5 to 6. That was about 12ish o'clock. So they did that. And then they decided to up my Pitocin. They upped my Pitocin. I was on full blown contractions. I was in so much pain. I did without pain medication, any epidural, nothing, until about 6 o'clock at night. At that point, I couldn't take it no more. I was just like, you know what? I don't know how these girls do it. Big ups to all of y'all, but man, I was dying. I I had tears in my eyes. Didn't bawl. I stay strong for, us girls, but man, I was dying. So they finally put an epidural in around 6:30, and I was like in La La Land. I was so comfortable. So I was like, okay, now I'm gonna get my sleep. So they end up coming back in and they checked my cervix or whatever. And I dilated to I was about 7 or 8. I could not sleep. I was so nervous. I couldn't sleep. I was kind of tossing and turning, whatever. Stacey was knocked out. My mother was working on her blog because she's a blogger. And I was just like, okay, what do I do? So I just kind of sat up. I watched TV. I relaxed. I was ordering food. Wasn't supposed to, but I was eating. I was hungry. Then, just about, I'm trying to see, right around 12 midnight. So here we are on the 29th. Right around midnight, two nurses come in. The babies came off the monitor, so they came in to put them back on the monitor. And they said to me they were catching baby A's heartbeat, but baby B, they could not find his heartbeat at all. These nurses drove. So my main nurse was beautiful. I loved her. These two nurses were the younger generation nurses, so they were probably like in their 20s, and no, they were probably in their 20s. She kept saying, oh, we don't find a heartbeat, everything should be fine, whatever. No, first of all, you don't understand. I have had a hard pregnancy. You need to go get the ultrasound tech in here to look to make sure they're okay. She's like, no. I said, no, you need to either get the doctor or you need to get your. I was, at this point, I was kind of like getting pissed off and cussing a little bit. So the doctor actually came in, and the doctor was like, told the nurses, like, you never wait. First of all, she works here. This is not yada, 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 yada. And they kind of like, oh shit, we're in trouble. But I wasn't about that. I just cared to make sure that the babies were okay. So she actually brought the ultrasound in and she checked herself. So she listened for the baby. She did the ultrasound. Baby's heartbeat was great. Their heartbeats, for whatever reason, were in sync, like legit in sync. So they couldn't catch. They we were catching one, weren't catching the other because they were so in sync. So she finally checked me, my cervix, and it was like 1220-ish. She said, "You're fully dilated, so it's time to start pushing." I was just like, "No, I'm not ready. I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna like a nap." And she was just like, "No, but you gotta start." So she literally woke up Cece, woke up my mom, was like, "Look, put your stuff, put your scrubs on because we're going down to the OR soon." So one of the main doctors, the head of, well, the attending of the baby ward that day was a good doctor that I work with. Of course, I work with all those doctors. She was like, "I'm gonna have you start pushing. I'm gonna call your doctor," which they work together. They're really good friends. She was just like, "We're gonna call your doctor and have her come in." She comes back in. She was like, "Adrian, I can't get a hold of your doctor." I was like, "That's okay. I'm gonna call her right now on her cell phone." She was like, "I've been calling." I was like, "I'm gonna call her anyway." I called her on her cell phone. I was like, "Hey, I'm ready. We're gonna start pushing." She's like, "Okay, do your practice pushing. I'll be there soon." I call the other two doctors, which are their godparents. They rush in. They got there within like minutes. And so everybody was there. People thought we were having a party because I had so many people in the room. There had to been at least between 15 and 20 people in that room. It was not needed, but people always say that Adrian got the all-star treatment in there and whatnot. But it's like I'm good friends with a lot of those doctors. I'm really, really good friends with them. So that happened. At the time from starting pushing, like practice pushing, my doctor who was delivering me, awesome doctor. I will not say people's names just because I did work there, but I'd rather not say their names. Um, she came in. I was still practice pushing, and for about good, I don't know, 20 minutes or so. And at this point, they were just kind of like just getting things ready, kind of not even getting things ready, just kind of sitting around talking and stuff like that, whatever. Everybody's chatting, and I'm still doing my practice pushing. It was so funny. I'm like, what? I hope I didn't poop because you don't really feel anything once you have an epidural, TMI. I was like, I have a lot of pressure down. I was like, I hope I'm not pooping. So I was just like, excuse me. I was like, I got a lot of pressure going down on it. And I don't know. They literally was just like, their eyes were so huge. They were like, oh my God. So we're not going to make it to the OR. The baby's head is coming out. So I didn't notice. I just know that I had a lot of pressure down there. So they couldn't even put their scrubs on. They literally delivered baby A just like that. His head came out. I didn't do any pushing after that. He just slid right on out. They finally got their scrubs on after baby A. So they were born 20 minutes apart. Baby B, they lost his heartbeat. So his heartbeat, so baby Zane was on my chest for a little bit. Then they transferred him from me to my partner. And so Cece had him. And then when I was delivering baby B, they couldn't find a heartbeat for him at all, and they had to basically push from my chest down to get up from under my ribs because he was so high up, to push him down into my pelvis. That was painful. I felt every bit of that. I could not breathe. It was so painful. So from that, they broke my water for him, and they started asking me to start pushing because they weren't catching a heartbeat for him. I didn't realize it at that point, but then when I looked up, everybody looked really worried. They were like, "Okay, Adrian, you gotta push." I'm pushing, and I'm just like, shit, you know, I'm pushing with all I can. And they were like, "Okay, we're gonna get something to get him out." So they were gonna get a suction. I said, "Oh no, we ain't using no damn devices. We're gonna get him out." I pushed with that last push with all my might, and he came out. And they wanted to make sure he was breathing. The whole room was quiet. He started breathing. He was crying. Baby B was fine. So I had my babies at Zane was born at 1:38, and Grayson was born at 2 o'clock in the morning on 6:29. From that point on, everything was beautiful. I just didn't know, like, even though I work in GYN, I really didn't know that you have to birth your own placentas. That hurt more than birthing them. I don't know if people have ever told you, but for me, that was the worst part. Um, so you don't just birth your child, you're birthing other things. So it's like I had birthed the babies, two, and two placentas. So both things came out. They did delayed cord clamping for them because I wanted to make sure all the blood that was in the placenta went to them. Let's see. From that point on, everything was good, but crazy shit happened right after. But the boys were great. The boys were great. But I'm going to get into that in the next video. So they're going to be multiple different videos. So I'm going to start posting and still doing videos at the same time. Okay? I'll be back with you with the next video. All right. Bye.